And we're live.
Did we fix it?
Yeah, that should be fixed. That was a little mistake on my part.
Hello.
And I should be able to hear it in a second. I just want to... There we go. Cool. Audio's good. Awesome. So, Tom here.
Sebastian.
So, for any of you that don't actually know who he is, this is actually our tech... Why is this upside down?
Guys, 666 gang.
For any of you that don't know who he is, he is actually our tech here. So anytime you guys hand in one of your broken guns, this is the guy that fixes them.
This would be a perfect opportunity to ask questions.
So this actually would be a perfect opportunity. This would actually be a perfect opportunity if you do have any tech-related questions while we do have Sebastian here. So feel free, any of you guys that want to comment, anything that tech-related, he'll be able to give you guys a hand. But that is not the main topic of today's podcast. We'll get to that a little bit later. First, just to give a couple announcements. So this weekend, I'm super excited for it. It is going to be greatest op ever. It is our Metro op. Was that good? Mm-hmm. I'm practicing. I'm practicing the Russian accent. But this weekend is our Metro op. So there's not much time left. The pre-register is up. If you guys want to play for the weekend, I highly recommend that you pre-register. Because if you pre-register, not only are you going to save yourself money.
This is the thing.
Huh. Weird noises. True Slav voice. Absolutely. I'm practicing. Hopefully it's good enough. Oh, the pipes. That's what it is. I'm like, what's all this noise? So pre-register, it'll save you the $5, and you'll get to pick what team you want to be on. So there's two teams. There's going to be my Rangers and Chuckle's Reds. So if you guys want to play on my team, because we all know that my team is going to win like it always does, pre-register because you can pick. If you don't pre-register, you're paying more to actually play the day of, and you do not get to pick your team. So you just basically get placed on whichever team needs the help. Yep, the op this weekend. So Sunday. So definitely pre-register. Pre-register is up on the website. Any of you that has a membership, if you guys want to pre-register, there's no spot on the website to pre-register, but give us a call, stop on by before the day of, pre-register. Obviously, it's not going to save you guys money because it's obviously covered as part of your membership, but you'll at least be able to choose which team you're on if you pre-register. So make sure you guys do that. Also, yes, Andrew, you can get a shout out because you've played here before. Anybody who plays here is good in my book. Was that corny enough? Was that cheesy enough? Yeah, was that a cheesy enough shout out?
That was cheesy.
Oh, I just thought of another way to shout out. Instead of just, ah! There's your shout out.
Oh, yep, that works.
Hi, Squirrel Airsoft.
I heard that kid's stupid.
Yeah, he's a moron. Squirrel Airsoft is a moron. Anyways, a couple more announcements. Dodgeball is going to be coming soon too. You heard me mention a few details about it during the last stream. It's going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays will be open dodgeball. Thursdays will be college night dodgeballs. We'll have both regular open gaming and tournament style gaming for both of those days. The open gaming, you can just show up, pay for your admission, play dodgeball very similarly to how you would for Airsoft. But if you wanted to enter in as the tournament, you would have to come in with a team. So you have to have a minimum, I believe it's 5 players coming in at one time to register as a team, 5 to 8 players. And you would sign up for the tournament. It's going to be a multi-week tournament, and there will be prizes at the end for both the regular dodgeball and the college night dodgeball. Obviously, the college night dodgeball, you have to be a college student, so bring some sort of like school ID or I don't know how that works. I didn't go to college, so I don't know how to prove that you were in college. So don't ask me. I'm not smart enough for college. Also, Nerf nights. You can add some stuff in here too if you want.
I don't have anything to say. I just tech.
You're just here to look pretty.
Yep.
So, Brian, we are going to be doing another Airsoft tournament. I don't know exactly when. We just need to figure out the details of it because we want to do it like we did last time, but we want to make it better. So we need to figure out what we need to do to make the tournament better. Once we get more details about it, we'll definitely let you guys know, because I definitely want to do another tournament. I know Sebastian's been bugging me every damn day.
Every single day. We should be ready. Like, I'm trying to get it up and ready in a couple weeks. So, like, it
hopefully.
should, hopefully
we'll
we could get it.
Keep our fingers crossed.
In the next 5 months, somewhere around there, in between that time.
So, Nerf Night is also going to be coming back in November. November 7th is going to be the first day. So it's $10. Anyone who is under the, anyone who is 13 or under will be able to come in to play open Nerf gaming from 5 to 7:30 on Wednesday nights. So if you or anybody that you know, or anybody that has kids that are 13 or under, they want to keep them busy for a couple hours on a Wednesday night, bring them on by. Again, starting November 7th. It's $10. Rentals are included if they don't have their own rental Nerf guns. It's a blast. It's never had any sort of negative views on it. Everybody loves it when it comes back, and anytime we get away with it, everybody's always asking us about it. So I'll be happy to bring that back. I'm wicked smart. I am very wicked smart. I just proved it. I am very wicked smart.
Jesus.
I am very wicked smart. Thank you, Mass Arms Airsoft. As if I didn't already know myself. I'm not very smart.
We don't talk about it, though. We just tell...
Hey, Josh, how's it going? But yeah, so the Nerf, feel free to, if, like I said, anybody that you know that would qualify to play Nerf, feel free to have them stop on by for that. It's always a blast. It's always fun. Obviously, music and gaming will be changed up for the younger crowd. So now, to get a little bit more into the meat and potatoes of what we're talking about, I do have one more announcement that I thought I was really excited for last week's announcement with the HK416, the A5s when I got them in. But I honestly think I'm a little bit more excited for this. And that is the Gen 2 Avalons. These things, oh my god. I am super happy that I finally have them here in the store. In case you guys don't know, I won't go too crazy in depth with it, because again, that's another time for Chuckles to do his review videos. We know you guys love those.
I was gonna do it.
Well, if you want to, go right ahead. You're the tech.
All right. Well, there's only two main features of this that really catch my eye. Actually, there's three now. But basically, they have an ambidextrous mag release on it, so you can hit it from the rear or in the front. And then they did fix up their trade a little bit. If you come in the store, you'll come and check it out. But they have that. And then the last thing is it has a dual MOSFET that they came out with. So now, if you were having experiences with an 11.1 LiPo and it was stuttering on semi, this will fix it completely. And basically, they added a fuse. I can't pull it out. But they added a fuse to it, and it's a 20K fuse. So basically, it's going to monitor all the voltage going into your gun, and it's not going to make the motor overwide. So now you have a perfect gun with no issues.
So they, like you just said, they did add that dual MOSFET in there, which is awesome. I actually do like the magazine release on it too. What they did was, instead of your normal magazine release, I'll try to see if I can get that for you. Instead of your normal magazine release, it's this big disc. So even if you do have slightly shorter fingers, you can still get to that button without a problem. And it is ambidextrous, so you do have your release on the other side as well. I'll try to show you that, guys. So you do have a magazine release on the other side as well, which is a really nice touch. This is actually a fairly smooth mag release. It's a little bit smoother than the HK416, the ambi mag release that they have on that. And the selector feels a little bit more solid on these guys too. So, but again, not going to go crazy too in depth. Chuckles will have that for you guys. If you guys are interested in grabbing these, I have a very, very limited amount. So stop on by the store, pick them up. They're not going to last long. So check these things out. And you're still getting the same awesome build quality on the externals too. Forgot to mention that. So now, on to the meat and potatoes of the actual subject. Oh, actually.
I like potatoes.
So as far as the smoke machines go, it's going to be very hard for us to monitor the smoke machines as far as trying to regulate. I'm assuming you're talking about the op itself. It's hard to use the fog machines to block off an area because the fog just dissipates all over the place. So if it's one small room or one small section that we want to block off, it's going to end up infecting the entire area. So we might not use the fog machines. you might figure something else out for that. We might just tape something off or block some doors and say, you can't go in here if you don't have a gas mask. So I'll bring gas masks too. We are actually trying to do that, Adam. I know that is you, Adam. So Josh, like I was just mentioning, we are thinking about doing something with some sort of police tape or a caution sign or something. Make it look like like there's some sort of radiation going on. But now, as far as the subject of the stream today, we are going to talk about some of the differences, why you would or wouldn't get expensive gear versus cheap gear. Now, this is not a video to tell you guys what to buy. This is just a video to let you guys know that there are a bunch of different options out there, and there's no such thing as the best gear. The best gear is what works the best for you. So obviously that would have to take into consideration what sort of budget you have, what sort of roles you plan on filling in when you're playing, what sort of gaming you're actually doing, whether you're doing CQB or outdoor. So everything has a home, and it's really all what you feel comfortable with. So toe shoes and overalls. There we go. Toe shoes and overalls. No. Do it.
I don't support that at all.
I support it 100%. Nope. If you come here in toe shoes and overalls, I'll figure something out. I'll give you a hug or something. And I promise you that. Yeah, that's on stream. That's on video. That's being saved.
How about long Converse, the ones that come up to your knees, and leggings? There you go. That's a new one.
Ooh, that's a new one.
I'll wear that.
That's a new one.
Oh, yeah. I'll definitely rock those.
I kind of like that. So, Andrew, to answer your question really quick before we get to the subject, the Wolverines I know can be a little less expensive than the Polar Stars, but as far as the way they work, they're basically identical to each other in almost every aspect, I would say. I don't have too much experience running Wolverines. I do personally myself have a Polar Star, and I know how well they can work. I don't know if you have any experience with Wolverines or not.
Probably the one main thing with Wolverines is out of the box, like any generation that you buy, they're mostly all air efficient. Unlike if you buy a Polar Star, if you start off with a Jack, that one's probably the most air efficient. Wow, that was really bad. Air efficient.
It's the most air efficient.
It's just not. Some of them are air efficient, some of them not. And basically, when you're paying for Wolverine, they're all air efficient. So, like, out of the box, they're just, you'll save more money with air.
That is one thing that I do hear a lot about the Wolverines is they're not using much air, but you're still getting the same performance as you would out of like an F1 or an F2 from a Polar Star.
Yeah, basically.
Whereas when you look at the Polar Stars, when you look at the Jacks, they're your very entry level, or not very entry level. There's obviously like the Vulcan V12s, but as far as the Polar Star is concerned, they're their entry level system, and they're not the most gas efficient. They're not gas efficient. They're not the most air efficient. I'm trying to think of like gas blowbacks for a second.
Yeah.
They're not the most air efficient of HPA systems.
Yes. But
so
they
in
do
a case
really
like that,
they make really good regulators too.
They do. So hopefully that kind of answered that for you. I hope that cleared up a little bit for you. But now, as far as going with the gear itself, comparing cheap to expensive gear.
I like that comment.
DSG.
I support that fully.
Of course you support that, because that's all you do is DSGs. So now to go on to the gear part of it, when you go to compare cheap versus expensive gear. Now, obviously, when you're paying more, not always true, but when you pay more for certain types of gear, you do generally get what you pay for. But more money does not mean better. I guess is probably the best way to explain that.
Oh, yeah.
So you can spend a couple $100s on a pair of combat pants, and somebody could spend maybe $60 on a cheaper brand from maybe Lancer Tac or what is it? Emerson, I think, does some fairly cheap ones. Spend like $60 on a cheaper pair, and granted, it's not quite the same quality, but it still works for you for what you plan on using it for and what your budget is.
Yeah.
So we have a couple examples here of kind of comparing expensive gear to inexpensive gear. So starting off with masks. Now, this isn't obviously as cheap as you can possibly go for masks, but it's a relatively inexpensive mask. You have the Vulcan series of masks, whether it be the MI3s, the MI7s, the MI9s, or even the Identities. The Identities are fairly inexpensive. But you're getting an inexpensive mask. It works, especially these guys. These do have the dual thermal lenses on them, so they're definitely going to help with the anti-fog, or the fog regulating anyway. But again, generally, it's not the most comfortable mask ever. It's not the clearest mask ever. You're not getting the biggest field of view ever. But it works. If you have a limited budget and you need to get a mask and you want a full face mask, absolutely these guys work. And on the other end, you could go with something like a dye, which I have a dye, he's got a dye. I know a bunch of people that have dyes, and they are very expensive. You get what you pay for, though. They're a very, very high quality mask. If you have the money to spend on it, if you have that money, buy a dye. But these guys work very, very well for what you're paying for them.
There's also a lower end to that, and you can still get one of these for $20. It's just all plastic, not rubber.
This isn't the lowest end of mask. This is like 2 steps above. But you can get like the MI3, which is their entry level mask, which is like $20 or $30 or something like that. And it still has the same lens. It still has a dual pane lens. It's just not the most comfortable mask ever. But again, if you have the budget for it, and let's say you don't play Airsoft on a very, very regular basis, you play very infrequently, you can get something like that, and it's going to work perfectly fine for you.
Or you could definitely just rent until you can actually afford buying a better mask or any sort of equipment.
So that's talking about masks. Move these off to the side. So now,
meet the nice.
Hi, Nick.
Just threw his glasses.
Hey guys.
So now again, comparing like something like gloves here. So these right here are actually the Vulcan. I think these are the Zulu gloves.
I think so, yeah.
These are the Vulcan Zulu gloves. For any of you that might know what the Oakley gloves look like, these look very similar to what an Oakley glove looks like. But you're spending a hell of a lot more on Oakleys than you would on the Vulcans. And I'm sure there are a couple other no-name brands that you could probably spend even less than these guys. These guys aren't too expensive. They're $35, something like that. But you're still getting a good glove out of it. But again, over time, these things aren't going to last as long as some of the more expensive stuff. But again, all about budget. Me, these are my personal gloves. I'm not going to spend stupid money on a pair of gloves because I personally can't justify it. I don't know if you could justify it.
Interesting comment.
Okay, then. Anyway. So, but again, it's all about budget. It's all about what you feel you have to spend and what you're going to be using it for. So these guys work great. But again, if you have the money to spend on Oakleys, by all means, go ahead and buy Oakleys. No one here is going to judge you for running Oakleys. No one's going to judge you for running Vulcans. No one's going to judge you for running plastic surgical gloves. If that's what you want to run, that's what you can run. That's the awesome part about Airsoft, is you can literally do whatever you want.
Here's a question. I can barely read that. There's a crack in the way.
Yeah, I know there's a crack in the way. Thanks for reminding me that there's a crack on my screen. So, as far as advice, what do you mean as for advice? Like, how to use it, or...
There's a lot of people commenting at once.
So that's actually a good comment right there as far as fingerless gloves go. So, again, that is personal preference. Personally, I'm not a fan of fingerless gloves because I believe in Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and I guarantee you that's going to be the first thing that's going to get shot on me is my fingers if I'm wearing fingerless gloves.
That's actually very funny because I have mechanics that have these 3 fingers cut, and all the tips of my fingers are actually shot out. So yeah, I have black and blue marks on every one of my nails.
That's why I wear full finger gloves. And when I'm looking at gloves, I make sure I'm getting a glove that doesn't have a lot of material on it, so that way I still get my full range of motion. I'm not being hindered any, but I'm still getting at least a little bit of protection. So now moving on to what you're physically wearing. Obviously, we're not really going to go talk too much about like uniforms or anything like that because again, we kind of touch base with that comparing like the Cry pants to like Emerson pants.
You can definitely order them for cheaper. I bought all my BDUs and they were all $11 a piece.
Yeah, so you can get very inexpensive gear that will work. It won't be quite as high quality as something like Cry or LBX or anything like that, but it's going to work, especially if that's what you feel like you need. So, Andrew, the team captains for the Metro, I will be the Rangers commander, and Chuckles will be the Reds.
And I'll be reffing.
And he'll be reffing. No, you cannot pre-register over stream. Sorry.
That makes no sense, but no, that's not happening. We're not working anymore.
So now moving on to like plate carriers, vests, and stuff like that. So I'm using mine as an example. You guys saw this in the last stream. I kind of went over this a little bit. But you can spend the extra money on something like a Mayflower or an LBX or I forget some of the other fairly expensive brands that make stuff out there.
Like yours.
Like mine. You can spend the money on. Me personally, I could justify it because I had the money to spend on it and I like having that extra quality on it. I know this thing's not going to rip on me anytime soon. I know it's going to handle, I know it's going to be more than capable enough of handling a couple BB strikes. It's not going to rip, it's not going to fall apart. It'll handle pretty much all the weight I can possibly toss on this. But at the same point, you can still spend very little money to get something very similar. So this guy specifically, you're spending 60 bucks on, which is a fraction of what this costs. You can buy one of these and it's going to work. You still have magazine pouches. You still have a little bit of MOLLE to attach whatever you need to attach on there. You still got your straps. It's still adjustable. It still does the same job. It's just a lot cheaper and not quite the quality. So again, budget. If this is what you have in mind for your budget, instead of spending a couple $100 on a plate carrier, then by all means, get the inexpensive stuff. It's all about budget and what you think. 99% of Airsoft, I tell this to every single person that asks me what they should get. 99% of Airsoft is what you think looks cool. So, you look at this and you look at my plate carrier and you say, well, I think this one looks cooler. Awesome. Buy it, because it's going to work for you. Because you think it looks cool, you're going to want to wear it. You want to wear it, now you're actually going to go out there and play. If you buy something and you don't think it looks cool and it's not comfortable on your body, you're never going to want to play, and you just wasted money. Right?
Let's do a personal preference. I mean, you should, like, definitely look up what your thing is new, because, like, my kit, this whole thing right here is 120 bucks. I bought...
I can tell you right now that all this is a hell of a lot more than 120 bucks.
I literally bought the JPC for 50, the mini maps 50, and just this little add-on piece just for the quick slip mags, literally only 20 bucks. And I bought it here all in the store. So I mean, like, you really don't have to spend over $500-600 bucks on kit, because like, I mean, you can make anything look good, to be honest. Like, everybody's running around with these like insanely priced like little backpacks on their back that are worth $500-600 bucks. That makes no sense to me.
Well, this one that I have on my back actually isn't too bad. It's definitely not no GMR mini map. GMR. $800. It's nowhere near that price. So again, you can buy whatever you want. It's all going to work with each other. So, but somebody had a question a second ago, Andrew. So as far as the $35 for the event, it's the day of, it's $35 to get in for your admission if you have your own equipment, $55 if you need to rent. If you pre-register online, you save yourself $5. So it's actually $30 and $50 instead. And you get to choose your team if you pre-register. So, no, not GMR Squirrel, not GMR.
There is no such thing as
There is no GMR here.
Nope, not at all.
No GMR. So now, going on. Now, technically, I guess we could consider this gear would be like magazines and stuff like that. So you can spend $10 to get yourself an Elite Force mid-cap. They work.
Yep.
They work. There's nothing wrong with them.
Yep.
They're plastic, and some people might get turned off by that, but they work. You put BBs in this, and it's going to feed into most of your guns. There are some guns that are a little bit finicky with these, but for the most part, you toss this into a gun, it's going to work.
But the one thing about these is you can't huck them at a wall when you're empty.
True. Don't throw these things because they will break. On the other hand, though, you get something like a PTS EPM, which I always recommend. These are probably one of the better mags in the market.
Oh, yeah.
$20.
Speed QB mags are better.
They're the same magazine.
But they're colorful.
They're the same magazine.
Yeah, but I like colors.
I like the colors.
If they're watching or they hear something, yo, we need neon pink and neon yellow. That would be amazing. Oh,
and
yeah.
green.
And green.
Green.
Just do all colors of the rainbow, man.
Speed QB. Make green, lime green for extreme. We'll do some sort of something or other here.
Oh, yeah.
Lime green, bubblegum pink, and banana yellow.
Oh, Jesus.
I guarantee you'll sell those mags like crazy. I would buy 1 million of the green ones and 1 million of the yellow ones because banana clip yellow.
Oh, yeah.
Do it, Speed QB, if you're watching.
Or
you
PTS.
probably aren't, but...
Both.
Or PTS, if you're watching. You're probably not, but...
It's okay. They can listen to us.
But again, EPMs, these things, like I said, very, very high quality, and I've seen people literally throw these things, and they still work.
When they don't feed.
When they don't feed.
Yeah. They feed flawlessly. Whoever throws them at walls is breaking them.
If they're not feeding in your gun, there's something wrong with your gun. Plain and simple.
Oh, yeah. Basically, that's your gun.
There's something wrong with your gun. But these things feed amazing. I think I had my Polar Star cranking like 35 rounds a second at one point, and it tossed that thing on full auto, and it fed every single BB out of this magazine without a hiccup.
Oh, yeah. All day.
All day. Like, no problem at
BTS
all.
should make a drum mag.
Ooh.
That would be insane.
That would be awesome.
A perfectly feeding drum mag.
That would be awesome. That would be great. But yeah, that kind of hopefully that cleared up a little bit of confusion, because I know a lot of people, you guys ask, why would somebody spend $300 on a backpack, or why would somebody spend $200 on a mask?
That's exactly who we're referencing. Wink.
Or how about that video that was on our Instagram when I get hit in the face with a magazine?
Or that too, yeah.
That was funny.
Yep. Rentals beware.
This be empty. Yeet. That was great. We need to do more of that. We need to do... Vine's back.
Yes, Extreme.
V2.
Yep.
We need to make a Vine.
Oh, yeah.
Extreme is going to be making a V2. It's going to be making a Vine. We're going to
Airsoft
be posting on that.
Vines do.
Oh, we're going to do all like that, throwing the magazine at me
All
and
memes.
all that.
All,
it's going to be all memes.
Yeah.
It's literally going to be all memes. But yeah, hopefully, like I said, I've had a lot of people ask me, like, why would somebody spend this much on this, and why would somebody spend this much on this? It's all about what you feel, one, that you can afford. Don't never, ever overstretch yourself and buy something that you cannot afford, because you're just going to end up hurting yourself in the long run. But always take a look at what your budget is. Always take a look at what you think looks cool and what feels comfortable either wearing or holding or whatever it is that you need to do with it. Because if it's not comfortable and it doesn't look cool, you're never going to want to run it. Plain and simple.
Oh, yeah.
So, because I can't tell you how many times I'll get somebody that will buy something, and after the fact, like, I'll use an example. They buy something online, and they never had a chance to physically hold it or wear it or try it on or whatever, and they finally get it in, and, oh, well, I never want to use this because this thing's not comfortable on me, or I don't like the way it feels, or it doesn't really look all that cool in person.
Oh.
Because the door's too short.
Oh.
Because the door's too short. Believe it or not, that door was actually made for me, my height, which is why everybody else has to duck.
Yeah, you're right. Shout out to the person that just called me hot. Thanks. We're getting some interesting comments.
That hurts. Wow.
It's okay. I think your beard's attractive. It turns me on.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Keep it PG.
It is PG.
But the biggest things that I always try to tell people, don't buy anything online. Only for the sole fact that you never get to experience the item before you spend money on it. At least when you come into a store like us, you can physically see the products. You can hold the product. You can, with the vests that we have on our wall, you can try them on. With the guns of the wall, you can hold on to them and feel what they feel like. Feel what the magazine feels like when you take it out, put it back in. And all that is going to tell you, all that's going to give you more information on whether or not you will like it than just looking at a picture of it online. To kind of give you an example, the Crytax. So, nothing wrong with Crytax. I like the Crytax. The only thing I don't like about them is the fact that a lot of their stuff is proprietary. I hate the word proprietary. I really do.
That's
but a lot of their stuff,
it's
a very scary word in teching. He would know.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, they are really good guns. But they're not a gun for everyone. They have a very niche population of people that actually would like running a Crytek. And I've had customers that will buy one online, and they'll come in and they're like, you know, I don't really like it. It just doesn't feel right in my hands. I don't like the way it looks in person. And they end up buying another gun. And they just wasted all that money on that gun that they bought online.
Oh, yeah.
So always, always, always make sure that you can physically get your hands on it before you can buy it. That's going to give you more information on whether or not you'll actually even want it. And then you can figure out, is it in your budget? Do you have the budget to spend on it? Stuff like that. So, Master Joe, to answer your question about the MP7, yes, buy it, 100%. That's it, just buy one. I feel like everybody should own at least one gas blowback in their life.
Or get the AEG and then get the kit for it.
I'm talking about the GBB. Relax.
Okay.
Relax.
Okay.
Tap the brakes.
Okay.
Relax.
I don't have brakes.
But as far as the MP7s, in last week's stream, I actually showed off my MP7, my personal MP7. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Definitely, 100%. Those things are amazing. As far as lubing it up goes, you really don't need to do too much maintenance to them because obviously the green gas already has some silicone oil in there.
But it doesn't hurt.
But it doesn't hurt to do the extra maintenance on it.
Unless you're dumping the whole can into it, then you got a problem. Because
Yeah.
then you're just going to be all oily and greasy, and then you drop your gun, and then you got a broken gun, and you got to have me fix it, and then you're wasting more money.
And that's another thing. Don't overlube your guns. There is such a thing as overlubing your guns. And I'm pretty sure I know exactly who you're talking about. I'm going to try to pronounce it. Tiki Dingo?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I said that right. I think I know exactly who you're talking about that bought that. And from what he's been telling me, he says he loves it. They're great. Like I said, everybody should own at least one gas blowback in their airsoft career. And if I had to pick one gas blowback, it's probably the MP7. Because it's very, very cost effective. You're not spending $300, $400, $500, $600 on like a GHK or anything like that. But you're still getting a really good quality gas blowback. And they're pretty darn efficient too. I think I could probably get easily 2 full mags out of a out of one charge of green gas on them. Granted, my mags are a little bit older, so I don't really have the same efficiency as I used to, but oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, Mass Arms, never, ever, ever overlube. Because believe it or not, when you guys overlube your airsoft guns, what's actually happening is you're gumming up the internals, and you're not giving the internals free movement, basically. And they're getting stuck in place, is essentially what's happening when you overlube your guns. And what ends up happening is when all the stuff gets stuck, this guy has to take a look at it, and he gets all mad because now he's got silicone oil all over himself because it just literally poured out of your gun. I've seen it happen. I've literally seen basically an entire glob of silicone oil come out. I think it was a 1911 that somebody had brought in at one point, and it literally was just leaking silicone oil all over the place.
There's no need in it.
There's just quick little spritz here and there, and that's it. That's all you need. You don't need anything crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But we're almost running up on time here, so if there's any other questions you guys want to add in, we'll go ahead and we'll try to answer them relatively quickly because I said we're running out of time. So if there's any other questions that you guys have, yes, Squirrel, that's actually a perfect analogy. It's exactly like flooding your engine with oil. If you put too much oil, it's not going to work properly.
Probably another thing that we need to talk about gear is like everybody's afraid of like yes, if it doesn't look cool, don't worry about it, to be honest. Because, like, you want to make your kit, like, more to how you, like, run it.
Well, that's why I always tell people, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that's why I always tell people what looks cool to you. I think that this looks cool, but Sebastian thinks it looks like Dookie. I don't care because I think it looks cool.
Yeah.
Because he's not the one wearing it. And
exactly.
This guy's not the one wearing it, and that guy's not the one. You are the one that's going to be wearing the gear. You're the one that's going out there playing in whatever gear it is that you're running. You decide what you want. Nobody else decides what you want. And that's what's awesome about Airsoft is you can do what you want. As long as you have the proper face protection, you're golden. You can run it out there in shorts and t-shirt if you really want to. I'm probably going to judge you because that sucks getting shot, but you can do that if you wanted to.
Not even, like, you could still make your own gear, too. Like, not, like, this JPC, I accidentally bought it a large. I had to hem it to my size, and now it fits perfectly. I mean, I make that. I have my own chest rig that I made from scratch. Literally, I bought nothing from the store. It is literally just, like, all hand-sewn stuff, and it all goes together perfectly.
You didn't buy anything from the store?
I think the only thing that I bought... Okay. I think the only thing that I bought was a quick... quick chain, the quick slip mag thing.
I'm definitely
like, everything.
I'm going to watch the stream on the way home. I'm just going to
heard that slap.
That
like, cut the bloopers. Put that on Vine. Stop talking. But like, you can make anything. Like, I even made a SpeedQB belt, like out of random stuff that I had in my house, and like that. Thank you. But like, you don't need to spend that money. Like, I made that SpeedQB belt for free, and it works perfectly. And then I just saved up for a regular SpeedQB belt. So now I have both. But don't be afraid to make your own gear. Some people actually like it. I appreciate it because then you just show that you have enough time to actually make your own gear and it's actually cool.
And if you're taking the time to make your own gear and you're doing all that, like what he said, refinishing up his plate carrier or making that SpeedQB belt, what you're doing is you're showing that you have a passion for Airsofts that doesn't just equal dollar signs, like paying for this or paying for that. You're showing that your passion of Airsoft goes far enough to say that, hey, I'm going to make something that'll work. And not a lot of people have the patience to make something anymore.
Somebody's asking what gun I run.
What gun you run?
Yeah.
All right, answer.
Well, currently, yes. A lot of people hate this idea. But I run a DSG currently.
Boo!
Oh, yeah. It's rounds per second, it's clocking around 40. And then I'm shooting like 300 FPS with it. But that's a G&G stock MOSFET. You just got to tune it properly. I personally recommend that or Spectre. But that's currently what I run right now. I'll bring it next time on another show to show it off. But it is pretty crazy right now.
So, Master Joe, to answer your question, with one word. Die. This thing has never fogged up on me, ever. Ever. And I'm pretty sure yours has never fogged up either. This will never fog up on you. Chuckles runs one of these, and Chuckles is a thick boy. Chuckles is a thick boy.
Oh, yeah.
He sweats a lot. He gets very hot when he's running out there, and he never gets his fogging up. So, to answer your question about what to help prevent fogging up, easy. Die. Get a die. That's the best way to prevent fogging. It's the only mask in the market that's true anti-fog. I've never had any that have ever.
Just a comment to Brian's last comment. Jay's DSG actually is a single sector because the gate Titan, for some odd reason, it doesn't want to. It overheats a lot and it can't handle a DSG. So I just swapped it to a single sector gear, and those work just as great. I mean, you could run them to 12 to 1s and still be running like 40 rounds a second, probably a little bit lower, but like that's still insane RPS for single sector gear.
See, the problem with DSGs is they do kind of get a bad rap for being notoriously, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess you could say prone to breaking or malfunctioning or not working very well, which is what doesn't shoot good, ha 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 ha. But you have to do a DSG right. If you don't do it right, it's very hard to do a DSG right. But as long as you do a DSG right, it's going to work amazingly. Like his, I didn't get to play with his, but I did kind of get to test it out once. And my God. Yeah. First off, the trigger on it is amazing.
I put a speed trigger on it, so it's like super tuned.
And then obviously the rounds per second, which for doing this isn't really necessary, but it's fun to have a stupid fast rounds per second.
It's just a fear factor, I guess. I don't know. I haven't used full auto on anybody. I kind of wouldn't wish that on anybody.
No.
And I keep it at a low FPS so I don't like hurt anyone.
Never do any sort of DSG justice. I've seen those videos.
We don't have a full auto field, so it wouldn't work.
Never do DSG justice while you're here if you do have a DSG. Never do it, because guess what? Now you're cheating.
Okay, you know what, Squirrel Airsoft? I think I'm going to have to come to your house, because
I'll
full auto you with that.
Des wants to know if you want to go out on a date later.
Yeah, hopefully. After this, yeah. Die is great.
Okay then. So we'll get one more question in before we do our outro. As long as you're buying. As long as you're buying. Come on, one more question, guys. FCU Dwell. That's not really a question.
Somebody asked about G&G MOSFETs. I'll talk about that all night. Come on, let's do it.
Enigmatic Loon said that he had a question.
Oh, no, somebody just...
What?
All right, that's a good one. What's a good motor? All right.
Okay.
So, the only good brand that I use every single time is ASG. Basically, they have an 1800,
Hi, Travis.
30K, and a 45K. 45K, if you really want a high-speed setup, go with the 45K, and then a nice torquey, I'll drop down to 18K. But like a 30 is a good in-between, and I use that in most of my G&G guns. Even my DSG's running a 30K, which I should bump it up to a 45. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen... I'm running a lower...
and that thing would be amazing.
Yeah, it would just be extra obnoxious. I'll probably be shooting like 45, almost 50 rounds a second on full auto. But it's definitely just because of the RPMs. But that's pretty much what I run.
All right. Awesome. Now that we had that little bit of awkward silence there. So... a couple things before we do our quick little outro. Just to remind you guys, again, Metro. This weekend. Pre-reg is going to be closing the day before, so make sure you guys pre-reg.
Not Operation Metro from Battlefield 3.
No, not Operation Metro. It's Metro from like Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light.
I do recommend that map.
Which are, yes, Operation Metro from Battlefield 3 was great.
KD 104 and 12.
Dude. Running down through the actual Metro system with an 870. Ooh!
Or a PKP?
Dirty!
Are you kidding me? Oh
dirty!
My God. Freaking mowing down lanes.
But make sure you guys pre-register. When you pre-register, it'll let you choose the team that you want to play on, and it will save you $5. Who doesn't want to save money? And I forgot to mention earlier, lunch is included for everybody. Not just pre-registers. Lunch is included for everybody.
What? I get pizza too.
So lunch will be included, so you don't have to worry about spending the $5 in the morning. Dinner, I believe we'll be doing dinner. You do have to pay for dinner. But if you pre-register, that $5 that you save, you can use for dinner if you want. How's that? Cool. Save money. So make sure you guys pre-register. Again, if you do not pre-register, you're spending the extra $5, and you do not get to choose the team that you're on. So you only get placed on the team that needs the help, that needs the players. So if you and a buddy are showing up and you guys don't pre-register, you might get put on separate teams. So keep that in mind. So pre-register, pre-register, pre-register. If you have a membership, we do not have an option online to pre-register for you guys. So you'll have to either call the store when we're open or stop on by while we're open and go ahead and get yourself pre-registered for that. Or you could even shoot us an email too. We'll be able to do it through email as well. As long as we get as much of your information as we can. And then obviously whichever team that you want to register for. So make sure you guys are pre-registering. This op is going to be amazing. It's going to be run a little bit differently than the other ops that we've done, and I'm super excited. Super excited.
I say nothing. I don't have a Russian accent. I'm good.
But make sure you guys are pre-registering. Dodgeball, again, is going to be coming soon. It's going to be starting in November. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays will be open dodgeball. Thursdays will be college nights. During both college and open dodgeball, we will also have your regular open gaming and tournament-style gaming. The open gaming, you just show up, pay for your admission, play dodgeball. Very similar to how you would do with Airsoft. For the tournament style, it'll be a multi-week tournament. And at the end of the tournament, the team that does the best will win prizes. Same thing with the college night. We'll have both open and tournament. But you do have to be a college student. You do have to prove that you are a college student. Again, I don't know how you would prove that you're a college student. Because like I said earlier, you do get an ID?
I have an ID.
I wouldn't know because I never went to college because I'm a moron.
I mean, you don't have to be smart to go to college. I mean, look at me. I'm barely passing.
But make sure that you guys check out that dodgeball when that goes live. And then Nerf nights are going to be coming back November as well. So starting November 7th, it's going to be the first Wednesday. It's going to be every Wednesday after then, going through winter and winter and early spring. 13 and under. So if you or anybody that you know, or anybody that has kids that are 13 or under, can stop on by, pay your $10, play your Nerf. Covers your rental gun if you don't have a Nerf gun. That's usually a lot of fun. The first couple weeks are always jam-packed busy. I think last year, it was either last year or the year before, the first night of Nerf night, we had like something like 140 Nerf kids playing here, which was absolutely ridiculous. So, if you are of age for that, make sure you guys check that out. Or if you know anybody that would qualify for that, make sure you have them check that out. And you guys can always hop onto our website, our Facebook, our YouTube. We've got a bunch of videos on a bunch of other topics that we've done in the past that we might touch up on again in the future. We will be bringing more videos. That is something that I am pretty excited about, is we will be doing more and more videos. So recently,
also comment some good ideas, because we also need a lot of ideas.
So make sure you guys comment after the stream goes down. After the stream goes down, after the stream goes down, make sure you guys comment on what sort of ideas you would have for videos. So we just toss some ideas out there. Or even we have the suggestion box at the Pro Shop window. Write down some suggestions on there, whether it be video ideas or game mode ideas. Anything that you guys have for suggestions, you can always feel free to put into the suggestion box. That's why we have it there. It's for you guys. So that way you guys can put some input in here, and if it's something that we can make work, we'll try to make it work. So, but again, any ideas for videos, we will be putting more and more videos up. So it won't just be reviews and streams now. It'll actually be videos. So, but again, make sure you guys are subscribing to us on YouTube. Make sure you hit that notification bell, because YouTube likes to be weird with that, because you have to subscribe twice. So make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, check out our website. We've got all that information. Come on by the store, check out what we got in stock, whether it be gear like we've been talking about, or even any guns. And we have a whole tech department. He is the tech department. He's got a whole bunch of parts, so if any of you guys need any sort of repairs or any upgrades, he'll be more than happy to be able to point you in the right direction. So, it was great. It was fun.
Hang her down. All right, just needed to do that. That's all I'm off.
What was that?
I don't know. That was too good. I wanted to see the comments for that, because that was pretty good. All right, you just.
All right,
I'll make it entertaining.
Jesus Christ, I forgot what I was saying. All right, so it's been great. Make sure you guys check us out next week for the next week podcast. And obviously make sure you check us out for the op. Check us out, stop on by the store. Even check us out for regular gaming. So it's been fun. Tom here.
Sebastian.
We're out.
Sayonara. Ka-chow.